Some of the strongest leaders I meet are also the most stretched thin. Not because they're incapable, and definitely not because they don't love what they do. It's usually because they're carrying more than anyone actually sees. Decisions that haven't really been finalized, expectations they're holding for other people, conversations that they know they need to have and haven't happened, and responsibility that never actually turns off. And over time, that kind of invisible load changes how you feel in your own body. If you've ever ended a day thinking, I've worked all day, why don't I feel ahead? This episode is for you. Welcome to Gathered Glow. I'm Jackie Price. If you've been here a while, then you already know this isn't just a leadership show. I've always talked about discernment, spiritual clarity, energy, integrity, and inner life. And that's not going to go anywhere. That's me. That's who I am. But the work that has been really developing, and I'm starting to expand and share more on this podcast because it's been what I've lived in for a decade, is leadership. And this is where all of those principles really get tested in real time. So, you can journal, you can feel aligned, you can do all the things, and then walk into a room with unclear expectations, unresolved tension, and a decision no one wants to make. And that's where these principles, these skills, these systems really matter. So Gathered Glow has always been about light and you shining so bright, and not in a vague way, not in a motivational poster in a break room kind of way. But when your energy is scattered and not gathered, then you're dispersed and you don't really have real focus. But when it is gathered, you're steady. It becomes visible and coherent to other people. And so I started thinking about leadership energy, and I've talked about this before in 3 different buckets: and maintenance, and friction, and in growth. And maintenance is what keeps things stable. It's your follow through. You keep your commitments. It's answering emails. Really, it's your job description. It's what you got to do. It's closing loops. It's keeping the lights on. Maintenance is needed. It's honorable. It's not glamorous, but it matters. And strong leaders are usually very good at maintenance. If they can, then they systemize it. They respond fast. They clean up things. They handle what's in front of them, and they hold everything together. But if all of your energy is going towards maintenance, you will start to feel like you're running without building. So maintenance is key in stabilizing everything, but if nothing feels like it's ever moving forward, that can start feeling frustrating. Growth is different. Growth is so creative. It is strategic. Growth is where you make something better than it was before. It's improving systems. It's deepening relationships, building vision, and expanding capacity. Growth requires space, time, energy, and focus. You cannot grow if you are constantly living in reaction. So if you're just reacting, you're starving out your growth. I want you to create stabilization. And so here's what I see often is leaders want growth, but the energy is trapped in maintenance, or even worse, friction. And friction is the one that doesn't get named enough. I identify it so easily anytime I'm out working with a team. But friction is energy that is spent that doesn't create stability, doesn't create progress. So you're working, but nothing feels cleaner. You're just busy. You're not maintaining anything either. So nothing feels lighter. And this is where a lot of your inner work and leadership meet, because friction is not just operational. It also, it is a low hum that is draining to your energy, to your focus, to your attention, and your time. It's a lot of mental noise of decisions that you haven't made, or emotional drag of boundaries that you haven't clarified. The structural fatigue of a system that you never really designed at the level that it's operating at. So when that's humming in the background, your nervous system does not like it. And when that humming becomes loud enough, you feel very stretched thin. And I don't think weak is ever a good description. I think it's just thin. You have a lot less to give yourself and what really matters. So we're going to talk about decisions, boundaries, and systems. And if something feels heavy, it's almost always in one of those 3. Decision friction is what happens when things stay open. So you know you need to decide something, but you keep thinking about it instead. You rehearse it, and I do this one a lot. You rehearse it in your mind. Someone might even see you moving your hands around thinking about it. Or you try to wait for a better timing, or you tell yourself you need more information. Meanwhile, it's just sitting there humming in the background of your brain, an open loop. You're not really resting, and it's draining energy without you even being consciously aware of it. So that's why this one really matters, because one clean decision, even if it's not a final decision, can free up energy for an entire day to be way more productive. I've had moments where I felt scattered and irritated, and I couldn't quite name why. And then when I would slow down and ask myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm avoiding a decision. And that is it's just postponing it. So an unmade decision will cost you more mental bandwidth than the discomfort in actually making it. Clarity gathers your energy. Hesitation scatters it. A boundary friction is quieter than you might think. It could look like responsibility. Sometimes it looks like team player or kindness. It can look like you're being the strong one, but you step into it because you can. You absorb tension because you're capable. You fix things because it's faster than teaching someone else to do it. But slowly it will leak your energy. You start to feel a little resentful. The system conforms to the fact that you compensated for it. So that person never really grows to understand what they need to do because you've been doing it. So a lot of leaders often confuse capacity with obligation. And just because you can carry something does not mean that you are meant to. So every unclear boundary trains people how to treat you. And occasionally that can turn into resentment or just a low grade, anxious kind of fatigue. You don't need dramatic boundaries. I don't think this is a bad thing. And sometimes you need to take on and step up and help out where you can. But if you know that you're at a place where it really is not sustainable for you to, then you need to try to figure out if there's a better system in place. A system is friction is when there's unclear ownership, when you're repeating the same explanation or the same expectation, when meetings exist because nobody trusts the process or the people. You can be deeply motivated and exhausted by the design of the system that you're in, and you cannot outwork system drag. If anything keeps breaking in a specific place, that's information. It's never a personal failure, it's a design issue. And sometimes the most mature thing is looking at it and saying, we need to redesign the system. We need to define, what does done actually mean? Who owns the first draft or owns this project entirely? Who has decision rights? And putting standards in writing. Structure is not control, it's really relief. So when you feel too stretched thin, before you question your calling, your capacity, or your abilities, ask yourself 3 things. Is there a decision I haven't made? Is there a boundary I haven't clarified? And is there a system that needs to be redesigned? Because a lot of exhaustion isn't from effort, it is from friction. Friction steals energy that belongs to growth and sometimes maintenance. And Gathered Glow has always been about collective light. So it's not just about getting your energy back, but getting your energy back so people can lead in a way that help other people gather theirs and gain their own power. When your energy is scattered, you tend to be reactive. When it's gathered, you can be creative. And I want you to create powerful infrastructures for yourself and for others. Steady the room, clarify tension, and build instead of just bracing. That is leadership. It's not about being loud or performative. It's about being steady. And as much as I know maintenance is important, growth is really the meaningful part. Friction is optional. Not always, it's there and it tells you something. So when it tells you something, listen to what that friction is saying. And taking this into your week, what I feel like I want you to think about, what are you treating as an emergency that's really just an unmade decision? And what are you carrying, if anything, that isn't yours to carry? What keeps breaking in the same place that could easily be fixed with a redesign? And I want you to answer this honestly and then try to put some things in place so your energy can shift back to what matters the most. If this is your first time listening, welcome to Gather Glow. This is what we talk about: leadership, energy, systems, the inner work inside of yourself and others, because we are not that separate. We have so much in common. And if this resonated, please follow the show. Share this with someone else who is extremely capable, but maybe is quietly caring too much. And if you've been here a while, thank you. As we continue to build this, it's not just about an individual shining, but us gathered together glowing. One leader steadies, others steady. So your power is not to be minimized. Light multiplies, and I'm really glad that you're here. So let's keep building. I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you all.